what I get for trying to push buttons when I can't see the screen all that well. So sorry about that. Okay, so if anybody had attempted to invite their followers, please go ahead and do that again now. Hello, hello. Yes, so finally today I am here. I had both my daughters had dentist appointments this morning, so we were getting that taken care of. And then I came home and went to go set everything up for the scope, and my tablet was totally dead. Um, totally dead. That's awesome. Look, and I can't. I'm like trying to see. Joy Lady, tell me what your name is. And so yeah. So if you see me kind of going like this, um, I didn't because I didn't get a chance to talk to them. It was only my girls. Hey, Shirley. Okay. All right. Hey, Jenny. Awesome. So I'm going to try to see these as best I can. Like I said, my tablet was totally dead. When I started this, it only had 2%. So it's not allowing my brightness to be where it ordinarily would. So this looks almost like black, like it's like trying to look at it outside. Thank you so much. I pray yours was good as well. Thank you. Thank you. So today we are going to be talking a little bit about financial. Okay. And we are going to try to keep this short and sweet. Thank you so much. We're going to try to keep this short and sweet a little bit. Okay. In the sense of the amount of content that's going to be provided. So, what we're going to be talking about is kind of how to break things down in terms of your finances. Something that I found to be useful, and I will admit I got away from it for a little while, and it's something that I am reintroducing because I just feel like it is so, so stinking important to make sure that we know where our commissions are going from our business and that we are using them in a very smart way. Okay. So I'm going to just show you a sheet that I had done. Okay. And it's really just the top half of the sheet. See if you can see that. Okay. Can everybody see? I can't really see my screen to see if you can see. So I think everyone can kind of see that. Okay. So this particular sheet has three different. It looks like I froze up. I'm sorry if I froze up. It basically has three different sections on that one sheet. So as an example, it says profit from, and then you can put a space there. So whether you want to list it as a specific show, for a commission check that you would have received for a specific month, whatever, you put down the total amount of profit. And then you kind of start breaking those down for the different percentages that you want to be able to save in different areas. So as an example, mine, in case y'all didn't see, so mine says 35% of our total commission into our personal account, okay? 15% toward paying down credit cards, so toward paying down any debt that we have, 10% back into the business to invest into our downline, okay? Now, basically what this is used for is this is used toward trainings, toward get-togethers, that kind of thing. Another 10% goes toward business expenses. So that would be toward additional catalogs, samples, basically anything that you come across that you wind up needing, even if it's, extra pens or new folders or things like that. 10% to a tax account. So that can just be an interest earning savings account that you can put 10% of that back. Now, chances are, especially your first several years in the business, chances are you probably will not be paying into taxes. You will probably get a nice little tax credit. But just to be on the safe side, if you put 10% back and you don't wind up having to use it, you can either leave it there for the next year, or you can treat yourself and be able to use that little nest egg for something else, or put it into your savings, whatever it is that you want to do with it. Another 10% of the total into savings. So strictly a savings account that can be used for whatever, and then our 10% to the church. Okay. So the way that that breaks all down is then it would be taking that profit, 100% of that profit is being used, reinvested, is being put somewhere, so that it's not, you don't have those funds go missing, if you will. Okay. I don't know how many of you ever, have a couple of shows, especially right in a row, and you're thinking, man, I made all kinds of money. I made all kinds of money. And then you go basically looking for those funds a week or so later, and you're kind of like, where in the world did all that money go? I know I made money. Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay. This would be a great way to make sure that you know exactly where your money is going. Okay. Now, one other thing that I will throw in here too is to keep in mind, as an example, I've been seeing so often lately where people are saying that they are not sure that they're going to be able to go to rally, that that's something they want to do, but they just financially can't do it, and this and that. Please keep in mind that whether it's rally, whether it's whatever, whether it's landscaping you want done at your house, okay, whatever it is, if you were to look at your average, okay, not necessarily the nationwide average, but your average for what your profit is on average from each show, how many extra shows would you need to schedule to make sure that you could have that extra income that you need for going to rally, or for, taking care of landscaping, or taking care of the honey-do list, or those kind of things, instead of turning around and having to put that on credit card and not being able to just pay for it. Okay. Now, of course, when it comes to booking flights and hotels and things like that, you have to use a credit card. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to use a credit card. And for those of you who may be traveling soon to be going to rally, just in case you don't typically stay in hotels, something to keep in mind, try to use a major credit card without using your debit card, okay, when you are paying for that hotel. Because what will happen is most hotels will put at least one extra full night stay hold on your funds, okay? You do not want that to be the case. We had that happen to us one year, and we're going, are you kidding me? Because it was actually that time, I want to say, I don't know if it was even just one night of a hold. I almost feel like it was 2 nights worth of a hold that they put on the card on top of what they charged for the card, because just in case there were any incidentals. Well, then that meant that those funds were not there for me to be paying my bills and that kind of thing. So that was a very unexpected cost, that kind of held us up for a few days, because those holds can last anywhere from, I believe it's like 3 to 10 days that those holds can be on there. You do not want that to happen. So I highly recommend, if you are going to rally and you're going to be getting yourself a hotel, make sure that you're using a major credit card that is not linked to your personal bank account, okay? Because otherwise you could be risking having money held up that you might not be able to access, okay? Now, out of curiosity, how many of you already, what do you do with the last 10%? Let me see. 10, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that's 65. No, I have them all there. Okay, so 35 to our personal account. 15 toward paying down any debt. 10% to invest in our downline, 10% for business expenses, 10% to the tax account, 10% to our regular savings, and 10% to the church. Did you get them all that time? I can hold it up there again, so you can see it. I hope you can see it. from what I can see, it looks like you can see it. So yes, if it helps, you can do a screenshot. I'll hold it there for just another second. You can do a screenshot of that. And then that way you have. All right. Everyone got? Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Yes. So, yeah. So business expenses, I have separate. And there again, like I said, business expenses, that could be for your, there again, that could even be for training in terms of doing rallies and that kind of thing. But it just helps if instead of having to try to gather a lump sum when you've been kind of spending all of the profits from your shows, from your individual orders, from whatever, and then suddenly you find, oh, I've used all that money, and maybe we went out to dinner, maybe we did this, maybe we did this, but now I need catalogs. So now what? Yes, yes, you should do this with each and every show or with each and every order, whatever. Anytime that you have money coming in, you should automatically put into this, like onto your little sheet here, to say, okay, this was from Sally's show on May 10th, and the total amount of profit was $250. So 35% of that, I'm going to automatically transfer directly to my personal account. And then 15%, I'm going to, whatever that total is, I'm going to put that amount on one of our debts, extra above and beyond whatever our typical payment would be. Does that make sense? So then you're able to, every time, you can be doing that. Now, if, as an example, if you're looking at like, 10 shows per month, then you might want to do this more on a weekly basis to kind of look at it and do it on a weekly basis, or on a bi-weekly basis. But the point is to make sure that you are not using more than 35% of those funds for that. Yes, but there again, now you say, okay, so what credit card company do you use to process, out of curiosity? Because you said to make sure that the credit card payment's clear. Credit cards are the only thing that I know, like they clear immediately. Oh, okay. Okay. I use ProPay. So with ProPay, those funds are available immediately for me to be able to use to pay Premier directly. So I typically don't really transfer much because it's very rare that I have everyone pay with credit card. I usually have some who paid in cash, some who paid in check, some who paid in credit card. Those who paid in credit card, those funds I use to pay Premier their portion directly. So I don't ever have to even wait for that stuff to be able to be transferred to my bank account, whatever, and they can be used the second that they've been processed. So when I'm, as an example, when I'm closing out a show, even for the hostess whose credit card info I would have just received and would have just processed her payment, I'm able to immediately upload my show to Premier using the funds directly from ProPay, even though it doesn't necessarily show it as being available to transfer to the account. It does allow it to be available for you to pay Premier. I know that kind of sounds weird, but so yes, you would want to make sure that all your payments have cleared before you do anything. And in fact, you want to make sure that all your payments have cleared before you're uploading a show anyway. But yes, so like I said, it might be, as an example, if you're doing 3 shows in 1 week, just wait till the end of the week, figure everything all out. As you close those shows out, figure out what your profit is and transfer whatever percentage. Now there again, you guys don't have to use the same percentages that I've used. This is just something that for us, this makes sense. So that was why we broke it down that way. Okay? Because we want to make sure that we are tithing to the church. We want to make sure that we are saving for personal, that we're saving for vacations or whatever, things like that. We want to make sure that we're saving in our tax account as a just in case. While we don't expect to have to pay out, we want to know that it's there just in case we do, rather than coming to the end of the year and finding out that, oh shoot, we owe and I don't know where it's coming from. We want to make sure that we have money for business expenses, for being able to stock up on our hostess incentives or our catalogs or things like that. Nothing breaks my heart more than hearing jewelers say, I can't afford to buy catalogs, or I can't afford to go to Rally, or I can't, you know what I mean? Like, those are business expenses that I want to make sure that I always have the funds for. Okay. Also, that investing in our downline, we want to make sure that that's something that we're able to do, that we're able to give away prizes, that we're able to offer contests, that sort of thing. Actually, as an example, one of the things that we're doing right now is that if our downline helps us get to 3 Diamond Designer by Rally, we are giving away $500 in cash. Okay, so to be able to do things like that, we need to make sure that we are saving up for that kind of thing. Okay. Also, for us, paying down our debts quicker. We're trying to get our debts paid down quicker, because the quicker that those debts get paid down, the sooner that David can do this with me full time. So again, that is something that we are hoping for and shooting for. It's all a matter of whether or not it's God's plan as far as whether or not that's what happens. And then, of course, to also have extra money for ourselves, just personally, to be able to use, so you can break those down into whatever is comfortable for you, or maybe you have different things. Maybe it's, that you need to take 10% and set it aside for building a new patio, or maybe it's, taking whatever. But this is a great way to allow you to kind of disperse that into different areas instead of just using it all up on just personal things and then realizing you have no money left to do the things that you need to do, that you just kind of had way too much fun with that money and just went out and blew it instead of taking care of it in a responsible way. So, and there again, you could even say, you know what, I want to take 20% of that and just be able to blow it on whatever I want to blow it on. Whatever works for you and your family. Okay. But like I said, those are things that work for me. So does anybody have any other suggestions as far as things that they would probably like to divvy their money up into? So tell me, if you were to create your very own list, and I encourage each of you to do that, if you were to create your own list, other than what was already listed there, what other things might you be choosing to put your money toward, and what percentage would you be using, just out of curiosity? So we're going to give just a second. Medical spending account. Okay, awesome. Anybody else? Anybody else? How many of you felt like vacation? Okay, yeah, that's what our personal account is. Sorry. Well, here's the thing. I noticed you said that you would put that first. Here's the thing. These are all getting divvied up at the same time, and no matter what, the church is getting their 10%. So yes, it's so either way, they're getting their 10%. It's not really a matter of what comes first, as far as, because it's not like we're going to come down through here and then go, oh, but wait, we don't have enough left over for the church. No, because they're getting their 10% no matter what. It's all getting divvied up at the same time. Entertainment account. Yep. There you go. So yeah, and I did like I also saw wardrobe, hygiene, that kind of thing. And those are also great things to be able to put that toward, and kind of divvy that up a little bit. But like I said, it just so often that money can be there like one day, and then the next day you're looking at it going, where in the world did this money go? Like, we just made X amount of dollars. Thank you. And I as y'all know, I bargain shop in like major ways. So like we got our 20%, we got like a 20% discount on Kohl's, and then we also had like a $10 off coupon, and then we also had Kohl's Cash to use and all their kinds of stuff. And then plus at Cato, we got some really good deals there for, you know, some of the items that were on clearance and that kind of thing. So, you know, at the end of the day, I wound up with, I don't know, it was probably like $850 worth of clothes, but I didn't pay that. I did not pay that. Yes, yes. And here's the thing. That there again, the more and more that you do this sort of thing, that you're kind of setting back, you know, because I hear that constantly. I hear constantly people saying, well, I can't afford to do this, or I can't afford to do this, or I can't afford to do this. Well, again, kind of like I mentioned yesterday with time, when people say, I don't have enough time, they haven't stated a fact, they've stated a priority. And the same is said for those who say, I can't afford it. Okay, you haven't necessarily stated a fact, you've stated a priority. You've stated that there are other things that come ahead of these things being done. So that's one of the reasons why I want to go back to using this list and go back to using this to make sure that I'm putting the funds where they really should be going. I gotta be honest, I do not even know that I have this sheet still on my computer. I honestly, I don't even know that I have that. But all I did, I'm telling you, it is so stinking simple. So all I did was I just typed the first, like this part, I just typed that, and then I just copy and pasted it 2 more times on the page. Like, that's all it was. So you would only have to put your things in there once and then just copy and paste it as many times as it will let you fit it on the page. But like I said, I don't even know that I still have the form itself on there. I have a whole slew of them like already in my binder. Yes, I can do that. I can do that. Or if everybody is able to see this, you can take a screenshot with your device, but I will also put a picture of it or something on onto Buffy's Toolbox group. Okay. But yes, there again, like I said, it just helps. It just helps. Lots of screenshots. Here's the thing. Like when I come over here, I can see nothing except my front door, and everything else is totally blacked out. I don't know that I do still have that. Yeah, I don't. Paparazzi. Yeah, I don't know that I do still have the form. If I do, I will be happy to post it. They're referring to the cameras that came up, like where the hearts are. Cameras pop up when someone does a screenshot. Yeah. Yes. Look, someone just said watch, and they're gonna do a screenshot. Do you see the camera? Yeah. So that's all that is. That just means that somebody took a screenshot. And y'all, I hope as y'all are doing those screenshots, I certainly hope that nobody got a unflattering picture of me being like all goofy eyed and gotta love it. So, does anyone have any questions? And tell me with a flow of hearts over here. Um, is that something that y'all needed? Is it okay? So this was something that was helpful to you. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Because here's the thing. I always want to make sure Um, I always want to make sure that I'm providing you guys with content. Like I mean, as much as I love y'all, I'm sure you don't just want to be here just hanging out. Like I want to make sure, um, I want to make sure that, that everybody is getting something out of it when they're here. So absolutely. And don't forget, if you didn't already share this with your followers and you feel like this is something that your followers might appreciate and might be able to get something out of, then go ahead and invite them real quick. I'll give everybody just a second to be able to do that. But unless we have any questions, then I'm going to let y'all scooch here soon. And yes, and even though we're wrapping up, any of those followers that choose to come, they will still be able to pop back in. They'll be able to come check out the replay. So again, I thank you all for being here. Does anybody have any questions before we go? You can put a 1 in the box if you have a question. And then that way I know that there's a question coming, but that you just need a second to be able to type it all out. Anybody have any questions? Okay, we do have a question coming, so we will give just a couple of seconds here. Okay, we got a couple. I really wish, I don't know if I can do this without, I don't want to accidentally stop the broadcast. Maybe I won't touch it. I was going to try to figure out if I could change the brightness of my screen yet, because this is, it's really bad. It's really bad. I have to keep like, how much extra money? Okay, so you really don't need a ton of extra money at Rally, because here's the thing. If again, y'all know that I'm cheap. Yes, I can try to do something on that. So y'all know that I'm cheap, frugal, whatever term you want to use. So we, as an example, we always make sure that the hotel that we stay in offers a free breakfast. Because here's the thing, you do not, right, like you do not get, you don't get breakfast with the Rally registration. You do get lunches and dinners on Thursday, Friday, and then on Saturday you do get one breakfast and a lunch, but you don't get a dinner. Okay, so what we do is we always get a hotel. Yeah, so we always get a hotel that has free breakfast that we can just pop down and get that, as soon as we get up in the morning. We head down and grab a quick little something. Budget for supplies. No. Okay, so for budgeting for supplies, I just do 10% into a savings. And then as I need supplies, then I use money from that savings. Yes, so it's on a needed basis. So we check our stock of everything once a week. And as we come to where we need something, then we go ahead and get. But I don't like stockpile anything. Like, because I don't want to have to, my house is not a warehouse, if that makes sense. So I don't stockpile on a bunch of stuff. I get things as I need them or know that I'm coming up on needing them. So even like hostess incentives and that kind of thing, we usually get enough for like the next 2 months. So however many shows we have for the next 2 months, then that's what we get. Yes, what I have is I have a way to save account. Okay. And then I also have, like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Capital One 360. They used to be ING Direct, but I have several different accounts with them. So I have one that is our personal. I have one. Oh, gotcha. I have one that is for our downline, one that is for our vacations. And then I have my tax one, And then through Wells Fargo, we have our actual business one, which is where we deposit any checks and things like that. And that's the one that we use for business supplies. Okay. And then we have our personal account. So I hope I answered that. Back to, I feel like I keep getting distracted from the question about Rally. So in terms of that, what you would need for is for breakfast. You would need for any snacks or meals that you might do while traveling. Okay, so while you're sitting at the airport, if you have a layover and you're going to be at the airport having to get lunch, whatever, yes, yes. Coffees, things like that, yes, because at Rally, again, they will have little booths set up where they have like the roasted almonds, they have what is it, like roasted almonds, roasted pecans, whatever. They also have another one that does like smoothies or something. They have their coffee bars and that kind of thing that are all right there during Rally. So if you want anything additional other than what is offered to you at your meals, they usually provide, no, they're not free. No. So that's what I'm saying. If you want any of that kind of stuff, you would want to make sure that you have money for that. Yes. If you want any of the materials from any of the guest speakers, retired jewelry bins are $5 each piece. So I usually stock up on retired jewelry for giveaways, for booking incentives, for silent auction donations, gifts, any of that kind of stuff. What else? And then really, other than that, I mean, here's the thing. Most of your stuff is taken care of through the Rally registration. So it's really just your breakfast, snacks, coffee or smoothies or things like that. They typically do offer free water, and occasionally they do like some sort of free snack type things. Like I know the one year they had like small packages of graham crackers and the little like Oreos and things like that. That those they did have for free. So anything that you want that isn't, no problem, thank you. So anything that you would want that isn't included in your lunch and dinner each day. But here's the thing, you're in training from 9 in the morning until 9 or 10 at night. So I mean, there's not a whole lot of time for downtime, unless you're staying over Saturday night. Then you might have some downtime. So as an example, like Saturday night, we usually go to the stockyards to go check out the rodeo, or just, go get some beef barbecue or something while we're out there. So if you want that kind of stuff. I truly don't. Whatever shoes I wear that day, I wear them all day. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't typically do heels. I usually do some sort of flat sandals or something like that. I don't typically do heels because, for a couple reasons. One, there's a lot of walking, because when you're going from the convention center to the dining hall, it's quite a walk. And we also usually sit in the nosebleed section. So we're in the Googe downline, and we usually sit like the rows are A through Z, and we usually sit somewhere around X or Y in the Gary Googe downline section. So yeah, so we're usually up like 24 little levels. Yes, yeah, gotta love it. Yes, love them Googes. Love them Googes. All right. Well, I don't want to hold y'all up anymore. I think I did answer all the questions. And so I will just bid you all farewell for today, and we will just look to be back here again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No worries. Tomorrow I do not have any dentist appointments I have to take care of. Thank you. You too. So I just look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye bye.